Got the beautiful Miss V on them vocals. Calligraph Jones in the place. Rabbit. Teamwork. Let's get it.
From outer space, out of this world, we come in peace, tell your master all. We are taking over this place right now. But bring your crew, you can let them know. We in town, they should dress up for the show. We are bringing down this town tonight, oh. In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Imagine, hivyo ndo muingianga kwa klabu. Aujasikia tunakula life na adabu na masela sela. Wana hela hela umenijazika hiu. Mase hela ni jui basi tela ni king kaka. King of Zamunda, tuko ndani na tumedunga. Kaka clothing we bado mtumba. Mina manager tuko tight anajua mini spend thrift. Meza drinks nimezipanga kama Tetris.
In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu.
Bro, check it, yow. I go like boom, 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 boom. Mikono kwa hewa nikifika tu kwa boom, 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 boom. As I be rolling when I be the cruise, so boom, boom. Get out the way. I'm feeling like money today. I'm here to pour it up all over the club. I'm willing to pay, so that's how I plan to go and tap it. Hey y'all, fee what up, let's make it happen. I'm here to get it crackin'. Shorties are telling me that I'm attractive, cause they be feeling the swag, I'm classic. Call me Papa Jones, and that's it. That's it. I'm on.
Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mkono juu.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Wimbo wa historia, watu wote mnaombwa msikize kwa makini. Ilikuwa Oktoba 52, watu wote tulisikia.
But here I am, ladies and gentlemen. I am just a human being like yourself.
Uta feel so sorry, kisikia history juu. History sio history, walame waligeuza gabana. History na si story. Chulo day. Tom boya, Tom lawyer, court goer. Tom soldier, intellect, smart fighter. Tom scholar, top scorer, Tom leader. Tom konya, cause these new niggas can't lead us. All my heroes die young, made me so afraid. The good die young. Is that what they say? Them bona how they wanna act like they really sane. Yes, man. I'm Benny Ule boy, me to African giant. Shaquille O'Neal, nigga. Black Power, Black Panther. Fist up, we say strong, we don't kneel, nigga. Colony wali chukwa shamba and they kill niggas. Nepotism, black on black, now we kill niggas. Wako lonely, tough boy. Nico lobbying, Nico foreigner, ki foreigner still low key. jogo wa shamba wiki mjini, but still kwa hizi street daily niko koki. Kasi tomboya kungekuwa na Obama, let us sink in before ni dive in. Koko outside ile time na form sign in, freedom fighting, backbiting, siko sightseeing, bana kwa gani meona mbele meni psychic. For political freedom, for economic opportunities, and for human dignity. This is my message to you. And I, and millions of other people, join you today in solidarity for the success of the struggle in which we are all involved. Timothy Dedon, sita surrender, skiza agenda, rasa kwa jela, akageziwa na maboy wake wa area, no wonder nilichoraga wale mamlaina, meda za cheddars, finya mawaida, finger complainer, till date mina kimbiza kalenda, R.I.P. Kenoko Seti Kivela, best MP forever pale Kibera, freedom fighter, Winnie Mandela, cheza na agenda, Wangari Mathai, Wangari na Daina, Wangara lidai, Seti Kimedas, we Apollo hanga Don, 63 Kauchi Onyango hanga Bon, 203 bana bano Nyango hanga gone, saini bana mi bizo de Babylon, na choma Babylon, na hata nikisota siombi Babylon, mwalimu mina tambua Julius Nyerere, Milton Obote, cheki gown rada safi makerere, chore mamwere we. How you gon' win when you ain't right within? How you gon' win when you don't fight regime? Minister of Justice hakuwahi pata haki, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi hondo nani, haki iwe ngao ya waizi waekwe ndani. Patrice Lumumba, tuko kin sasa, hii generation haina heroes, tuko kin siasa, tuko kin sasa, na tukis rasa. 5th July 1969, 5th July 1969. Dead president, my dead president, dead president, my dead president, dead president. Tomboy.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Ni kweli kwako mini medata, mwingine misioni wala stamani yeah. Minapenda unavyosogea karibu yangu mami na kunipa busu yeah. Ndiyo maana nakufuata fuata kila unapokwenda kama kivuli yeah. Ndiyo maana nakufuata fuata kila unapokwenda kama nyota wewe wanga, ni kwangu we malaika namba moja yeah. Baby usiwe na hofu wala usiogope usione haya we, kama nyota wewe wanga, ni kwangu we malaika namba moja yeah. Baby usiwe na hofu baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby, kwako nimedata data data, kwako nimedata data baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby. You know say that me like the way my girl you can walk it up, back it up again to the rhythm and turn it up. Not for them a fly, but you are the one me want, because your heart everybody can see. You got the new style, you got the new look, coffee waistline and you're pretty like a rose. You not feel worry girl, I take you to the top, straight to the top you will see. You kwako nimedata data 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 baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby, kwako nimedata data data, kwako nimedata data baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby, kwako nimedata data data, kwako nimedata data baby, kwako nimedata data 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 baby. Ni kweli kwako mini medata, mwingine misioni wala stamani yeah. Minapenda unavyosogea karibu yangu mami na kunipa busu yeah. Ndiyo maana nakufuata fuata kila unapokwenda kama kivuli yeah. Ndiyo maana nakufuata fuata kila unapokwenda kama nyota wewe wanga, ni kwangu we malaika namba moja, yeah. Baby, usiwe na hofu, wala usiogope, usione haya we. Kama nyota wewe wanga, ni kwangu we malaika namba moja, yeah. Baby, usiwe na hofu, baby. Kwako nimedata, data, 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 baby. Kwako nimedata, data, 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 baby. Kwako nimedata, data, data. Kwako nimedata, data, baby. Kwako nimedata, data, 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 baby. Nimedata, data, 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 baby. Nimedata, data, 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 baby. Kwako nimedata, data, data. Kwako nimedata, data, baby. Nimedata, data, 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 baby.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
You know, I've just heard that jingle and I've thought about from sunrise to sunset. I just found out that Dolly Parton, is on her sunset journey. She passed on. Oh my goodness, Dolly Parton, the Dolly Parton. May her soul rest in peace. My goodness, I guess great people also do go through their sunrise and sunset moments, and for people who do not know, especially the new generation, Dolly Parton was definitely a very big voice in music, most especially country music. She's been able to give us some joyful ballads, also some Christmas goodies, Christmas songs there, some great country music. Oh my goodness, may her soul rest in peace. Really, she was one of one. That's so sad. I really just found out just this morning, and she has died at the age of 90? Is that 80? No, 80. Yeah, she died at the age of 80. And I think more conversations about what could have been the cause of her death. What I'm seeing here is that she was dealing with a chronic kidney stone issue, and also some kidney infections, with some general immune and digestive system issues that she was dealing with in her health. Oh yeah, and also cancer as well. Cancer is the one that took her out as well. So, man, may her soul rest in peace. I hope whatever she's been able to manage to do in terms of the music scene, especially country music scene, her spirit lives on. But yeah, boy, did she live a great life. I don't think I've ever seen a woman of her stature, in her years, just defying all odds of what a woman in her 80s should live like. Yeah, greatness there. But that's a sad note. Let's move on to the more sunshiny things, because the sunshine is out today in Nairobi, so I'm happy about that. And yes, indeed, you are tuning into the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on this 26th of August. The year is still 2026. I want to welcome you officially, and you know how you can get in touch with us. Remember, you can do so by reaching out on our socials. We are Power Radio. If Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or X is any of your jam, please head out there and engage us. We would love to hear from you. You can also find us on our YouTube channel. That is Power Radio. If you've not yet subscribed, please make sure you go hit on that subscription bell and also notification bell, so that whenever we are live, you will not miss out on what is cooking on this side. Okay, right. I think that's good. Let me do a quick look at what the roads are looking like this morning with our traffic update. Thika Road is a mess. It's an absolute mess this morning. I think the reason as to why is, kids are back to school. So there's that kind of chaos is expected this morning. All the way from KCA University as you make your way towards the Muthaiga roundabout, things looking quite crazy. Also same situation happening along Kiambu Road from DCI area as you make your way towards Pangani intersection. If you can avoid it, please make sure you do. If you're there, just a little bit of patience. Limuru Road is also looking very busy, especially from the UN area down towards the Muthaiga area there. Things are looking quite hectic as well, so please stay guided, as we like to say here in Kenya. Peponi Road, nothing much to complain about. You guys are looking okay. We also have Red Hill Link Road looking very busy, especially as you make your way towards Wanyoike, which is also looking quite busy as you make your way from the Safaricom House area down towards Westlands. Uhuru Highway, nothing much to complain about. You guys are looking okay as well. Ring Road, into the spillover towards Wanyoike, things are looking very busy on your end as well. Dennis Prit Road, pia kumeshikana bumper to bumper. Langata Road, not looking too bad this morning. Things are looking pretty good on your end as well. But just as you enter towards town, just around the Bunyala Road area, you please be guided. There's going to be traffic on your end as well. That stretch from Ole Sereni along Mombasa Road, mambo yamechemka kule. Same situation also happening from Further Estate down towards Embakasi into Cabanas bus stop. Absolute chaos this morning, so please be guided as well. And Jogoo Road is also looking quite busy as well, especially as you make your way towards the City Stadium in this morning. So that's what's happening on our roads this morning. I want to take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll jump right into the news headlines, look at some of the stories making headlines this morning. So do keep it Power Radio. We'll be right back after this.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I come a girl a week ago, come a movie and a pizza dough. You've been gone for so long, I started to think you're creeping though. I never had to sleep alone. When I call you, don't pick up the phone. Let me break the sign down. My credit card, she's spending. Friend request is pending. All this time, so many lies she just be inventing. Long time pretending. I don't know. Man, I can't lie. Relationship goodbye. Got you creeping. Got you creeping. Hey, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping. Got you creeping. Hey, just about a week ago, when I met her, we were so in love. Like a gift from the stars. Girl got a man sleeping, yo. She a party on the weekend, though. Weekdays and even Easter, bro. She done mash up my life. She has spent the time requesting, Facebook requesting, double tapping, commenting. Oh my Lord, she is creeping up with my best friend. Man crying and stressing. I don't know how. Man, I can't lie. Relationship goodbye. Got you creeping. Got you creeping. Hey, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping. Got you creeping. Hey, siku hizi misinanga time. Zama dem die yani panga line. Kazi yangu ni kumanga life. Na nikipata wife si kama wewe yani pata knife. Cheki vile nime underline venye lilikupata ukiwa underline. Ati
babe, it's not what it looks like. I see you trying to get ahead in life is what it looks like. I ain't even mad though. All of the Bordeaux and chateaus went straight to my head like afros, and now I'm combing it out with some mad dough. And did you think I'd plateau? Fall on my face in front of all of the space, but be sure I'm gonna wave to you when I drive out this place with my Lambo. Hey. Me not fi have time, me not fi have time for this, nah. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia. Me not fi have time, me not fi have time for this, no. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia. Me not fi have time, me not fi have time for this, nah. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia. Me not fi have time, me not fi have time for this, no. Me not fi have time for all this paranoia, 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 paranoia.
Relationship goodbye, got you creeping, 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 got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Hey, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping, 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 got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Hey, man, I can't lie. Relationship goodbye, got you creeping, 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 got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Hey, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping, 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 got you creeping, creeping. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy, oh guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy, oh guy.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Call me Chris to the cantata. That's why they call me. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali chi, huni mtu mkali chi, tuliza moto kufani chi. That's why they call me. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali chi, huni mtu mkali chi, tuliza moto kufani chi. Yo, they say it's hard to compose a rhyme. I say you out of your mind or you full of lies. Then again, you could be the slow kind. I don't see how lyrics don't hypnotize. Why lie? The season has transformed. You got reason to be bored, so now you want more. I'ma serve you flavor that you can't afford. The bill about to get placed on your tempo. So don't even try to resist. Look at yourself bumping to the beat. Get up and get down with a G-twist. Forget the hater cause the fool's not on the list. Dig this, we came and we took over. Got the keys to the ride and we're not sober. We made an oath that we ain't gonna ride for you. So now it's hip-hop, ride us to the border. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali chi, huni mtu mkali chi, tuliza moto kufani chi. That's why they call me. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali chi, huni mtu mkali chi, tuliza moto kufani chi. They're taking over my head, dog, they on a hustle. I'm taking over their bread, dog, I'm on a muscle. Try to be cool, but I gotta mumble. Better yet, after that, there's a big tussle. Quit them tears, boy. Dry your eyes, see the G going cheers, boy. Don't be mad, cause I say that you weird, boy. You kinda scared, so I see that fear, boy. Meditating on a cute shorty. Lean body, mean thighs like the chick bought it. Eyes set real tight like they all assorted. If she arresting my ass, then she got a warrant. I'm a legend in the living, and that's that. I grab objects of vices you can't touch. Read all comprehension is too much. Unawares is words that bring the wrath. Let's go. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali chi, huni mtu mkali chi, tuliza moto kufani chi. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali chi, huni mtu mkali chi, tuliza moto kufani chi. Glad that you stopped by. Who are you? What's your business? Bye bye. I hate people that think that I'm on a rise. Yet and still I'm the steel that will not fly. Ask why? I got this even better. On this planet I teach you before the chatter. What I compose gets better by the day's weather. That's why they call me Chris to the cantata. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali chi, huni mtu mkali chi, tuliza moto kufani chi. Huni nani chi, huni kantai hajali G. Huu ni mtu mkali G. Tuliza moto kwa fani G. Yo. 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 That's why they call me. They call me Chris through the cantata.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Homeboys production. How many bamba bamba? Cheki ule da 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 da. How many bamba bamba? Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever. Moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever. Dada vipi na nusurika kila unapopita, hiyo shingo itapinda, na ukiniita sitadinda, kwani ni wewe tu, hakuna mwingine, ni wewe tu. Vile ukisheki wanipa hiyo fuga, you know this must be true. Hata nikiwa with my fattest crew, ukipita lazima tutaweka mikono juu. Basi basi basi, shake hiyo nanda, shake hiyo nanda, usiogope ni Habib na Manga. Shake hiyo nanda, shake hiyo nanda, usiogope ni Habib na Manga. Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever. Moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever. Vipi dada, jina langu ni Manga. Rhyme bado hot, rhyme bado za bamba, na kucheki juu paka chini. I like it what I see, baby girl, do you feel me? Kutoka the first time nilikucheki nilijua you be mine, nikiamua umenibamba na kukupata nitafanya chochote unachotaka. Usiku silali, chakula sikuli, wote wakutaka ni adui. Umenishika na ninasita kila unapopita, na siwezi nyita. Huu ndio mwanzo, mambo bado, haters wote wako songa kando. Huu ndio mwanzo, mambo bado, haters wote wako songa kando. Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever. Moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever. Sijui nini wanipa, lakini vile wanipa yashika. Dada ukipita wanipa fever, wanipa fever, wanipa fever. Sijui nini wanipa, lakini vile wanipa yashika. Dada ukipita wanipa fever, wanipa fever, wanipa fever. Moyo wa dundunda, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Moyo wa dundunda, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Moyo wa dundunda, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Moyo wa dundunda, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever. Moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho fever fever, fever fever.
Homeboys production.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Just a little bit, yeah.
That money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite.
Matinyawa, ogna matinyawa, ya edo ati like the sea. Bora uhai, c'est la vie. All of these roads lead you to me. Make me spend all my money for peace and quiet mystery. Forbidden fruit is out of reach. I've got a hunch, a certainty. You make me spend all my money. Dice, a slap on the cheek, the thrill of the chase ends in defeat. If we are survivors, then we try harder. Most of my life I've been asleep. Who will I hold? Who will I keep? All of this talk is way too deep. I need to spend all my money.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back. That is Tatu Shani, Spend My Money. It is playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show with me and Wanyoike. Welcome back to the show. I'm glad that you're here with us. Let's just get right into it. But before we do that, remember you can get in touch with us on all our socials. We are Power Radio, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, as well as on our YouTube channel, Power Radio. That's where you can find us. You can also watch us or listen to us on our website, www.power254.org/Power Radio. All right. Let's look at some of the stories making our headlines this morning on our dailies. And Daily Nation, some of the stories that it's leading with the schools empty as learners among fighters in Narok Kisii clashes. You know, the schools are back, and whatever is happening in Narok Kisii has told the kids from, entering back to school. Then Kenya Airways plunges into 16 billion Kenya shillings half-year net loss. Then Sifuna's choices. The opposition movement led by Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna yesterday obtained orders from the political parties' disputes tribunal halting registration of Linda Mwananchi as a party by any other group pending determination of its application. But with the electoral timelines fast approaching, the breakaway ODM faction is reportedly scouting for an alternative party in case it loses the legal battle. Okay, should be interesting to know. Then family on trial for doctor's killing blames wars on 1.5 billion Kenya shillings land. And that is a story that has been highlighted on page 2 of the Daily Nation. Okay, which is also the same story that is leading on the Standard newspaper this morning. Murder in family, and they have captured it. Professor David Ndetei, a renowned mental health expert, never anticipated that his family would be ripped apart by what is turning out to be a bitter property dispute. 2 murders, 1 bitter family feud, and 1.5 billion shilling land war. The killing of Dr. Victoria Mutiso has ripped open the family's darkest battles, with allegations of betrayal, revenge, and a deadly property fight now spilling into court. investigators are probing whether her murder and the earlier assassination of lawyer Matthew Chalo Mbobu are connected, while the suspects are fighting back, claiming they are being set up in a long-running battle over the land. Ooh, harrowing experiences there. With this family drama that has been going on since 2000. It dates back to 2003. So the Standard really captures it well on pages 4 and 5. So please do grab your copies today to find out what it's all about. And last but not least, on the Business Daily, NSSF reveals 38 billion stake in Kenya Pipeline after the IPO. We also have a story on police and KRA gain access to parcels ferried by Uber and Bolt. It should be interesting to find out about that and how it affects you, who is an Uber and Bolt user. Then boon for hoteliers as confirmed room bookings rise. Then KQ half-year loss widens to 16 billion Kenya shillings as costs spiral. Blow to graduates as CEOs freeze hiring on jobs market pause. And last but not least, there's a piece by Lenny Nganga here saying for many firms in the creative sector, 5% deduction from gross revenue can represent a substantial proportion of the profit. So please do grab your copies of the dailies this morning so that you can get the full scoop of those stories and much, much more. Now, I'm pretty excited to get right into our conversation this morning, and I am joined by Ms. Gachui, Kariuki, and Ms. Mutai Valerie from Manifesto Yetu and also from Ustawi, Kenya. And they've been working tirelessly, going around the country, teaching and preaching the gospel of peace. And they've been doing some incredible work about combating political violence, electoral violence, political extremism as well. And so who better to have a conversation about how, as a country, are we prepared to combat this political extremism? We do have quite a track record, a bad one, I might have to add on that. On top of that, in terms of the history of elections and before, during, and after the elections. And so we want to just kind of look at some of the ways and approaches that we can be leveraging as a nation, because as it stands right now, things are becoming grim. We did see the Kofi Annan report came out, I think 2 months ago, saying that there's a likelihood that 84.7% is a likelihood of Kenyans plunging into post-election violence. So that should be jittery. Yeah, the jitters should be on right now. So let's engage these two beautiful women who are already in studio with me after this short break as we talk all things combating political extremism. See you in just a moment.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Maze nilipatana na Uden akanisho hakuna ma-MC wakali, so nikampeleka Decimal akapatana na Punet, alafu Msioka kanipea hii track, twende kazi. Rasha mimkali nianzaga mziki tuna na kitari, akajikanisha basi tuna dakitari, tunajua fresha na kuwaga dakitari. Basi mtaani mini ordinary, siwa getikari, boss mimnade, ndo maana tudem tunashindaga kelele, wanataka mpango wa kando ati ni wadare. Boss hey ni shamare, niko mdogo tu kwenye gari, si usare, nikisonga mbele wako pale si tuko kwenye club tuna pale lezo, yani pale narusha mizuka pale wangu sijampata mkali maishani wangu sijamwona mkali
kare mistari generale kare generali tangu kale kare kikundi serikali yani serikali tangu kale kare haijarishi kare gani kare kazi zote kare 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 na katika ile hali kare kashenkari ina hari kare kari forward kari Francis hari safari za mbalimbali kare biashara mbalimbali kare hatuchoki na hii safari kare sauti za kinyumbani kare wekelea kwa takikare kare ya daktari na ni kare sijapata mkare 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 maishani mwangu sijamwona mkare 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 maishani mwangu
kanya mimi nina sware majaja kibao wote shware wanamuka mbele yangu na nisare wanataka leta noma na kucheza ngware kwangu kuja inje kuna umbwa kare nyumba ndani huko pata bibi kare mkare 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 na si mkare kare nimeng'ara kari kanitoka kare nimechapa toto ware bado kare kama umeshindwa basi leta ture na uongeze ture ndo mi nikure kucha turerembe ture tukorembe nyewe kwa wamanyi wanataka rembe wanakana katika kama wembe otuwabe chekibuganya kishambe
sijapata mkare 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 maishani mwangu sijamwona mkare 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 maishani mwangu maishani mwangu sijampata mkare 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 maishani mwangu sijamwona mkare 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 maishani mwangu.
We can fall in love again. I wanna do it all again.
King Sagwa, King Sagwa. Salty Soul, Salty Soul. Just another track, just another track. You know how we do, right? You know how we do, right?
Kwetu alishakupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no time, siku zaenda, na siku zaenda. Kwetu alishakupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no time, siku zaenda, siku zaenda.
Si eres llama, vamos llama. Si eres fala, vamos fala. No tem por qué te largas. Si no te vale, te mambo, pero toca. Sí, ya no me quedo para dormir, baby. Mas querer que si o amor já foi, então foi agora. Nosso love assim fica agora.
I'm on my knees, baby, please. Push animalize, take it easy. Girl, you got me missing your body. I hope you ain't kissing nobody.
Kwetu alishakupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no time, siku zaenda, na siku zaenda. Kwetu alishakupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no time, siku zaenda, na siku zaenda.
Si eres llama, vamos llama. Si eres fala, vamos fala. No tem por qué te largas. Si no te peito tem sentimento pra andar. Sí, ya no me quedo pra dormir, baby. Mas querer que se o amor já foi, então foi agora. Nosso love assim fica agora.
Mapenzi ya dhati yashatubana na harufu ya muziki jatuzingira. Siku ikisiringi dondosa. Oh yeah baby come closer.
Kwetu alishakupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no no time, siku zaenda na siku zaenda. Kwetu alisha kupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no time, siku zaenda na siku zaenda na siku zaenda na siku zaenda na siku zaenda. We can fall in love again. I wanna do it all again with you. We can fall in love again. I wanna do it all again. Dance with you. Kwetu alisha kupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no time, siku zaenda na siku zaenda. Kwetu alisha kupenda, kwako nilisha sarenda. We ain't got no time, siku zaenda na siku zaenda. Kwetu alisha kupenda,
Ushanimaliza, take it easy. Girl, you got me missing nobody. I hope you ain't kissing nobody. Yeah. No, na 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 na. Siku zaenda.
Nakumbuka kali moja kinikatia, my dear, you know that you are my number one. Siku
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Soul generation. Lucy, I love you. Lakini kama tuko wengi, tusilazimishe penzi. Lucy, I love you. Lakini kama tuko wengi, don't force it. Yo, Lucy, yo. Hizo ni nini nasikia? Eti kuna maboi wanajaribu kukukatia, na pia kuna vile unawavutia. Ulikuja na mimi wanataka kunigeuzia. Lucia, is there another man in your life? Can't tell me stop wasting my time. Ukitaka penzi ni lazima udecide. Ukitaka kwangu ni lazima uwe man. Lucia, alongolongo yako ya uongo. Unacheki wengi ya matukuite chongo. Usichana muremu na nichanganya ubongo. Sugar Lucy, I love you. Lakini kama tuko wengi, tusilazimishe penzi. Lucy, I love you. Lakini kama tuko wengi, don't force it. Niko na mipango, kama unazako weziweke kando. Juu kila kitu nimeorder double. Nikipewa yangu unapewa yako. Okay, wewe ndo mpango. Mashida zako zote weka kando. Ustali baby mimi nitakuhandle. Mimi kijana no matoka Estelando. Okay, usininyime samosa. Ukitaka sose nitakupa mpaka sosa. Kwa kukupenda mimi najua si makosa. Na nikikupenda mimi najua sijakosa. Baby love usininyime samosa. Ukitaka sose nitakupa mpaka sosa. Kwa kukupenda mimi najua si makosa. Na nikikupenda mimi najua Lucy, I love you. Lakini kama tuko wengi, tusilazimishe penzi. Lucy, I love you. Lakini kama tuko wengi, don't force it. Ati mtoto mudogo amevangolopa, amevangolopa. Mtoto mudogo amevangolopa, amevangolopa. Lucy, I love you, and I need your love, but don't force it. Yeah. Mtoto mudogo amevangolopa, amevangolopa.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Alrighty, those were the beautiful melodies of the one and only Ben Soul. The song is Lucy, and yes, indeed, it is playing right here on Power Radio. Welcome to the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike. It's good to have you this very beautiful sunny Wednesday morning. What better way to start your morning than to join us this morning as we talk about things that matter to you, and especially if you're a young person in this country. This next conversation is definitely about you, your present, and your future. And I had mentioned earlier that I am joined by some two beautiful, powerful, amazing women, young women, who I like to call, visionaries. Yes, they are going to be president. You just have to give them a little bit of some time. And so I'm just going to allow them to introduce themselves, and then we will get into our conversation this morning. Let me start with the one that is on my immediate left. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I am Gachui, Agnes Kariuki, an advocate by profession. I always say that I'm a patriot. I love this country.
Yeah.
I am a governance expert, and I am a politician by play.
Hey, politician by play. Come on. You see? Told you, powerful. Yes, and to the one on my extreme left. Karibu.
Well, asante sana. This is Mutai, Chepkemoi from Bomet County. I'm a resident over there.
Yeah.
Though Nairobi seems to have a
Chokehold on you.
Exactly. I am very passionate about youth politics, youth leadership. And importantly, I'm very passionate about maternal and child health. That is one of my side quests.
Yeah, side quest.
And in the political field, I also love to see myself as a politician. And when it comes to patriotism, I always love to see what Gachui does because it really teaches me that we should love our country more.
I love it.
Thank you.
Maybe I need to come for master classes to
need
learn
to.
the country.
Absolutely. Yes.
Me, I'm just like, I'm not here by choice, guys. I'm not here by choice. But anyway.
Give me a chance. I will show you.
I should definitely come for that. So you guys are here, doing some amazing work, and to kind of premise what you're doing with Manifesto Yetu. Talk to us just a little bit, and we will get to Ustawi Kenya as well. But what is Manifesto Yetu? I know you just came together, formed it together, so there might be some people who still are not caught up to what Manifesto Yetu is all about. And tell us what this season of Manifesto Yetu is looking like. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Like I'd said before we went on air, I love it when Manifesto Yetu gets a chance to deliberate and be platformed on youth-based or youth-centric communication platforms. So thank you so much to Power Radio.
Thank you.
I see it as the national convener leading the political working group at Manifesto Yetu. So just a small background, Manifesto Yetu was inspired by the Gen Z protests of 2024. We saw what happened in 2024. And of course, we're going to talk more about polarization, radicalization, and extremism in the political space as we proceed.
Yeah.
But it was in light, or in part, building from that, and the fact that young people had completely lost faith in nationhood, in constitutional order. You remember, I don't want to say that slogan here, but there have been certain slogans that have been going around that for us to get there, we would have to use unconstitutional means. So number one, that was number one. Number two, that the fact that the parliament and other government institutions sort of lost legitimacy from 24th June protest of 2024.
Yeah.
And then come 2025, you have a young man being ferried from Homa Bay under the auspices of cyber crimes offenses. He's brought to Nairobi and killed in a police cell, which, whips up emotions again.
Yeah.
People go to the street. Another young man is killed, Tukiona, on the street. He was a mask seller. And then, of course, we have the anniversary of the 24th June protest and the Sabasaba protest, both of which were extremely bloody, both of which claimed a lot of lives unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So young people who are actively involved in politics, be they from political parties, political organizations like Ustawi KE, be they in academia, in civil society space, came together and asked ourselves, ni nini tunaweza fanya sasa? Because we have gotten to a point where young people no longer want to talk. They no longer want to deliberate. They no longer want to engage. And that is a very dangerous place because this is a point of hardlinism. Everyone has become a hardliner. You have citizens on the one hand, angry hardlining. On the other hand, you have the government also very tyrannical, stubborn, and hardlining.
Yeah.
So Manifesto Yetu was inspired from that point. We want to create a neutral platform of political discourse, of creating an instrument that is testament of who we are as young people of this country and what we want, devoid of emotions. We are also an institution or a consortium that promotes democracy, patriotism, and constitutional order. So having sat down and brainstormed, we decided, let's go around the country and listen to what young people have to say. Let's listen to their grievances. Let's listen to their aspirations. Let's listen to what it is they want to do, what it is they want from the government and from society generally. And having gathered all that information, we went again, sat down, did an analysis, and created a manifesto, a youth manifesto. We then called Manifesto Yetu, and we launched on 11th December 2025. This year has been greatly going back to the ground for ratification assemblies, where basically we go to the different parts of the country and engage young people as far as Manifesto Yetu is concerned and their local concerns. how do we tailor this manifesto to what it is you people want at the ground level?
Yeah.
We've also done what we call the campus comrade conversations. That is led by my colleague Gachui, as you're asking what she does. She's the convener, citizen engagement. So I think we have done 3 universities so far.
Okay.
And basically Manifesto Yetu is anchored on a few pillars. One of them, education. 2, agriculture. 3, economic empowerment. And 4, governance and security.
How did you come up with these pillars, or why were they important to highlight those?
Because everywhere we went across the country, these are the same things that would come up. So for instance, education, the issue of HELB or higher education loans. A lot of young people kept bringing it up. We don't understand the new model. We don't agree with it. Why can't we go back to the different one? The previous one, number 1. Number 2, there was the feeling of disenfranchisement by a lot of young people, which they said was the reason why they were driven to the streets. That they predominantly lost an opportunity to be in class, to be able to pursue their aspirations, insofar as tertiary education is concerned, or the bottom-up beta regime came into power. We were just reeling from the lockdown. A lot of small businesses had to close. A lot of people lost their jobs, myself included. I was in banking.
You are?
Yes, I am a banker.
You're a banker. Okay. We'll do another podcast
story for another day.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost their jobs around that time. And then here comes the war between Russia and Ukraine, which significantly impacted the economic patterns across the globe. Come in a new president with new policies, new models, does not want to listen to what is happening. So people did not have the necessary coping mechanism for shocks, economic shocks, and especially young people. So a lot of young people feel extremely disenfranchised, number 1. And then you have the finance bills and the public finance management systems in this country, and especially where parliament is involved. None of them want to listen or wanted to listen to what young people had to say. The digital economy is not conducive enough for everyone. We can't all be creatives. We can't all be traders on, social media and the internet. There's so many other places that we have to consider. Look at research, look at industries, look at factories, look at innovation. There's so many other innovations, fintechs, There's so much to be done, and young people give their various ideas for where they are. So mtu akiwa Isiolo anakuambia hapa, hivi ndio sisi tunataka. Sisi as Nakuru, this is what we want. Mombasa, different. Lamu, different.
Yeah.
And then, of course, governance and security. This is where we address issues, politics, we address issues, extremism, issues, human rights, issues, democracy, which were the fundamental trigger of 2024 and 2025. Yeah.
And so far, you've been able to ratify Manifesto Yetu in how many counties?
I think we've done 16 regions so far.
Yeah.
And, funding is an issue, is a constraint for us, but we should be able to do about 3 more before, again, we close the year and see what new, information we have from the ground that we can then update the manifesto with.
How has the response from especially young people across the different regions that you've been in been like?
Generally positive and very affirmative. And, Valerie will talk about extremism and radicalization, but I have to mention this because when we were going into the ground, we didn't know what to expect. We are very lucky that while young people in this country have a lot of bitterness and anger and apprehension towards the government, it is not ideological. It is predominantly economic.
Okay.
And they are willing to talk. And that is what we got when we went to the ground last year, and that is what we are getting this year. That while we have all these issues with the state, we have all these issues with the government, we are willing to talk. This is what we want. This is what we want. We love this idea, and we're more than happy to engage. And also to adopt this manifesto for anyone who is running for office, from the MCA all the way to the president up. Na hizi ni stories za grassroots. Si ati ni mambo ya Nairobi, No. When you go ground, I'm sure you were in Bomet last week. You will tell us how how that went.
You'll tell us.
But that has been the feeling generally everywhere we have gone. Very positive, very affirmative. Everyone wants to listen. Everyone wants to open their doors for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said that most problems that Kenyan youth have is they're not ideological, they're economic.
Yes. Yes.
Are you jittery about that?
There's a positive to that.
Yeah.
Because that is something that can easily be cured by good governance. if you have the necessary, you have good leaders and the necessary institutions and know-how
Yeah.
of ensuring that everyone is able to walk out of the door in the morning, go, make some money, come back home, be able to feed themselves, be able to feed their families. Remember, we are the ones in the age bracket where people have young children, be able to take care of their young children, have good healthcare. You can cure that. But philosophy and ideology, that is very dangerous, and it is very hard to rehabilitate somebody who is a hardliner due to ideology. Yeah.
All right. And Miss Mutai, it's now your time. Tuambie, first of all, you know, you were in Bomet was it last week? Yeah. Watu Bomet wanasema nini kuhusu manifesto yetu? What were some of the deliberations that you were able to be a part of and facilitate?
All right, thank you. Bomet was very great.
Yeah.
And before I share with you the feelings of Bomet County,
Yeah.
just allow me to introduce a little bit of what we do to Stawike.
Oh, yes. Please.
And I'm
Sure.
very much happy that she's from Manifesto Yetu.
Yeah.
So at Stawike, we are key partners, key strategic and implementation partners of Manifesto Yetu.
Okay.
And in-house, Stawike mostly deals in Chapter 7 of the Constitution, that is representation of the people. If you went to the parliament, that is the National Assembly, you'll realize that some of the inscriptions that have been made on the door read, for the welfare of the people and a just government for the people. And that is what representation is about. We talk about the welfare of the people. How is the welfare? What is the quality of life? And also looking into the quality of life, we also look at economic issues, social issues, and political issues. When you talk about a just government of the people, we talk about delivery and especially service, and also how they protect constitutional rights and especially freedoms, the freedom to express yourself, the freedom to associate, the freedom for movement too. And at Ustawi-KE, we actually pride in the fact that we have a lot of young people who are enthusiastic, young people who have a lot of courage. And when I walked in today, I saw that you had a very good library on photography and all that.
Yeah.
And it is really good that you have been able to give us space for photographers and artists to tell their stories. We too at Usta, we've been able to do that, but we have mostly focused on the political part of it. So we have worked with political parties.
Yeah.
We have worked with young women of political parties, young men of political parties. And actually for the last 3 months, we have been intensely working on training the young people on digital safety, training the young people on psychosocial literacy, because that is very important, especially in the aspect of polarization and radicalization. We have also done a training on trafficking in persons, because that happens when digital safety is not there, and as much as there are other components that are involved, but we focus on that.
Yeah.
So at Ustawi-KE, as implementation partners of Manifesto Yetu Consortium, last week we got the opportunity to go to Bomet County to help in the implementation of ratification assembly.
Yeah.
So in the ratification assembly, what happens is that we get to go there, we get to display the document, the living document, that is the Manifesto Yetu, One National Youth Manifesto. And Convener Gachui has already talked about the 4 elements, or rather the 4 pillars of Manifesto Yetu. Clearly, the people of Bomet are about education financing. They are about agricultural financing. Actually, that was very much top.
Yeah.
For them, food security would be a thing if there was enough money. And they also talked about the kind of finances that are found within the Ministry of Agriculture, and especially for young people. But then their concern was that there is no fair or transparent way of distributing or allocating this money. Sometimes even there's asymmetric flow of information. You find that the young farmers, or rather the young youths who are into farming, who get to know about such finances, are only people who are close to power, or people who may be in a WhatsApp group that perhaps the CC of the ministries are there. So you would find that at the end of the day, only a section of these young people have benefited and not the larger group. So that was one of the issues. The other issue, of course, was about employment, which they discussed and said that as a country, we need to also kind of lower retirement age. That was one of the most radical
Lower the retirement rate.
Age, so that you have more
Yes.
people joining the workforce, more young people joining the
Oh,
workforce.
so at it stands we are at 60, is that?
Yeah.
So
We're
they
at
want
60.
it to come to like 50. I mean,
Probably.
I don't mind,
45.
you know,
50.
retiring at my age right now. In my 30s, it would be nice.
I get you. Actually, the reason why it will be very controversial is because you find that most of the people who get into the civil service, they get in there past 30.
Yeah.
So if you were to
And
lower
they
retirement
hold on for the
age,
next 30 or 40.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it would be an issue for them, and also the fact that we do not have. Well, as a country, we do have pension schemes and all that.
Sure.
But we do not have one that is very rigorous and one that is likely to protect you after you have retired.
Yeah.
So that is a whole conversation that Tustawi KE and the larger Manifesto Yetu Consortium is willing to have with a lot of experts, with a lot of other youths, just to discuss how this can be done.
Yeah.
And also to focus on other areas that would make sure that the market is opened up to absorb more graduates, to absorb even the people from the vocational training centers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. You did mention that, you at Ustawi, you've been doing this. You did a research about polarization, about radicalization and political extremism. And I was just reading that report that Kofi Annan Foundation said that come 2027, 84.7% is the likelihood that we would get and plunge ourselves into some political violence. So when you look at all those narratives and conversations happening around this 2027 general elections, I wonder from where you sit, with the work that you've been doing, what can you tell us about the state that we are at? Are young people, do young people first, are they awake to this whole idea of the polarization that is happening, the political patronage that has been happening? We're talking about goonism on the rise, and it's just so much going on in this electioneering period that I'm like, I don't even know where to begin because there's so many outliers in this conversation. Yeah.
Young people that we have so far associated with or rather had conversations with are very much alive to the reality, both objective and subjective reality. And as Convener Gachui had talked about, it is not
First
an
of all,
ideological...
I like how she calls you Convener Gachui.
Catches me off guard all the time.
As Convener Gachui was saying...
You know she's a convener at Manifesto Yetu.
Yes, we know that she's a convener. You have made us aware of that fact every moment. Mkubwa.
Yes. So for the young people that we have been able to engage, it is not an ideological issue. It is not a political ideological issue. It is more of a social issue and a political issue at the same time, and an economic issue. So what is currently happening is that we do have young people who are unable to get access to capital to maybe become entrepreneurs, young people who are unable to get jobs. And when they try to get these jobs, they also realize that there's just a lot of competition. And then there's also the problem of skill mismatch, And these young people get frustrated. And now they have to find a way to live, or rather to fend for themselves, to make ends meet. And we have a group of politicians out here who have been involved in money laundering schemes, who are also involved in, embezzling funds and all that. Corrupt politicians typically. And they want to use this money for political, mileage. So they get these young people and they recruit them. And remember that when it comes to recruitment, it means that these people are kind of organized, because, you can't recruit somebody who's not organized. So if you want somebody, you just give a phone call to a person A, and person A is able to give you 50 persons, and that is what is happening. So when you talk about political violence, I do not want us to call it an issue of goonism, because you cannot you cannot take a person to the court of law claiming that this person is a goon. You can only do so if you try to break down what kind of crime this person has broken. For example, is this person very violent? What kind of crimes against humanity has he committed? Is this person also involved in, say, election or other electoral violence? Has this person maybe committed a certain kind of assault against people? You know, so when we codify it into goonism, it kind of lacks its meaning, although we just say goonism for the purpose of conversation.
Yeah. What do you want to jump onto that?
I know last year there was an incident where some protesters, unfortunately, who ended up at the Kahawa law courts being charged under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, which in my opinion was preposterous, some of them, because it was clearly targeted. It was targeted, coordinated, and trumped up charges to try and tone down the opposition. But generally, under the Porter, we call it the Porter, there are certain definitions where, political extremism and violence in that nature would fall into. At the end of the day, extremism, whichever kind, is just fundamentally political rabies, for lack of a better description. Whether it be religious, it be social, it be economic, it be political, it's just a form of philosophical or ideological rabies.
Yeah.
But yes, as Valerie has put it, there's also a reason, in my opinion, my professional opinion, that goonism, we throw this word around, goonism, it's very vague.
Yeah.
So what do you charge a goon with?
Yeah.
So those are some of the things we are trying to look into. And I know yesterday there was a conversation between the security sector and the electoral body, IEBC. And I think they were launching something, I can't remember what it is they were launching, but something along those lines. As Ustawi KE, of course, and Manifesto Yetu, we are watching keenly on behalf of the youth and speaking for the youth on what that would entail in terms of tackling or dealing with goonism in this country, dealing with political thugism or thuggish behavior within the political space, because clearly the end goal is intimidation.
Yes.
And, violence is used as a means to a particular end. Yeah. So I guess that's what I can say for now.
Yeah. You did mention that you've been doing some training on digital safety, also psychosocial something, I've forgotten, and also the trafficking. You've been teaching and training young people in that training, or to kind of bring them to attention of how, for example, like with the violent extremism and radicalization, digital spaces have become that new place where this is kind of happening. So how then, what are some of the more ways that we can invest in, I don't know whether it's the education and I don't know whether it's the radicalization, because as Gachui was able to put it across, is that it's not just an ideological problem. The problem is mayutmen wakonja. And so if they get a politician who wants to give them a handout to go and cause some fracas, I'm sorry, but they are going to jump right into
That is true.
which is what has been happening. So what are some of the ways that we can invest so that we do not have to deal with this thing? I do not know. I honestly do not know.
The reason why we did the psychosocial literacy training on radicalization was because we wanted to understand, or rather instill, the idea of how radicalization happens, what mechanisms are at play or rather exploited, So we wanted our people in the political parties to be able to identify this and know when they are being polarized or when they're being radicalized. And when it comes to digital safety, remember that violence nowadays is just no longer the hard kind of violence where I kick you or I throw stones or I use farm tools to cut you and all that. It has morphed into the internet, given that technology is enabling that. And right now we have this kind of social media platforms that are actually rewarding engagement. And you find that the most kind of engagement that you would get is from something that is disparaging, something that is belittling people, something that is actually melting violence upon people. Something that you yourself, if you are a good human being, you'd look at that and you would find offense in it. But our social media reward those things by paying them after getting a lot of engagements, so we just wanted to understand how the digital spaces have enabled violence, and that is when we looked at the technology facilitated GBV, and how it is being used against women in the political field, and even sometimes the young men in the political field. But most of the victims are women, because they get to find themselves being undressed by an AI. They get to find themselves being stalked by people. They get themselves having their dogs and all that. And the reason why this is happening is also because the digital media provides a lot of anonymity. I could be at the end of this calling myself, let me say, Phone X. I could call myself Phone X. So nobody knows who Phone X is. But I'm there on the social media platforms. I am there arguing. I am there agitating. But at the same time, I am there poking at people's lives and maybe talking about people in a really bad way, using derogative language.
What are the telltale signs of when somebody has been polarized or radicalized? How do you know? Because I'm sure a lot of people who've been radicalized are the ones who will tell you, by the way, I'm just here playing neutral. In most cases, they do not know that they've been radicalized. So what should we be looking out for?
Back to what extremism is. It's the easiest way to explain it. It's ideological rabies. So anything that borders on anti-democracy, anti-human, dehumanization, and more often than not, for young people who spend a lot of time online, they will, like she's talked about, rewarding system on social media and engagements. A lot of people find themselves with tailored or trimmed engagements, or their algorithmic engagements tend to be very much an echo chamber of what you agree with. So let me go back to Mutai as Phone X, person Phone X. If today I am constantly publishing communication or information online that Phone X is not human, Phone X is let me use the same words that were used by one Duale, a hyena. Okay? Phone X ni fisi, Phone X ni fisi, Phone X anakulanga kila kitu, Phone X alifanya, Phone X this, Phone X that. It's a form of inoculation. It's propaganda and inoculation. So you do it enough times, you will get into somebody's head, you will change the perception, you will convince them. They will start saying the same thing. Phone X is not human. Phone X is a hyena. Phone X does this, Phone X does that. And the end goal, again, is dehumanization. And using all means necessary, or communicating that you have to use all means necessary to make sure that the other person loses, us versus them. Okay? So you have the concept of echo chambers. People who spend too much time online or in communities where these kind of conversations are done, number one. Number two, radical changes in who they are from their personality. They used to be, laid back, nice personality, whatnot, but then they've gotten into this shell or this cocoon where they have become angrier. Their takes or their opinions are very radical and, very hardlining, by the way. They don't like compromise. People who tend to be radicalized and polarized do not like compromise or consensus building. A good example, again, is what you're seeing in the West right now, Western Europe, what you're seeing in America. America being the perfect example because they're the loudest when it comes to this. It's either you're very far on the left or very far on the right. There's no sense of a middle ground. Europe is also oscillating drastically to the right. Initially, they were drastically to the left, and no one seems to want to come to, a consensus building or a compromise center. So those are the kind of signs you should be looking out for. Statements like, I lose nothing. I have nothing else to lose, which was very much what was happening in 2024 and 2025. Mostly men, young men, not young women, who would say, I have nothing else. I have nothing to lose. There were instances I could see time ya maandamano, a young man anaongea na polisi anamwambia mimi nimeshindwa kulipa rent, nimeshindwa kufanya nini, nimeshindwa kufanya
I don't have a job.
Hata mkinipiga risasi sahi manzi si
It would be
yes. You saw what happened in parliament.
Yeah.
That was also an element of polarization, although there is also a lot of mob psychology to talk about in that sphere. But those are kind of the kind of signs you should be looking out for. I don't want to poke a lot of fingers into the activist space, but that is where you would find a lot of the hardline political stances.
Okay.
And disagreement with compromise in Kenya, and especially for now the young women, in my opinion. I hope I will not get in trouble for this.
Yeah.
But that is where you will predominantly find a lot of young women who have very hardlining takes and are very unwilling to compromise on democratic values. Yeah.
Yes,
And,
you look like you want to
just-
jump in. Yes, please.
Yes, and Convener Gachui has talked about existing in an
This
echo chamber.
convener is really like
I will pay you today.
umemlipa pesa ngapi
Nitamlipa
wewe?
ukweli.
Umemwambia lunch ni yeye, umemwambia lunch ni yeye.
Lunch on you. Yeah, lunch on you.
So she's talked about the existence of an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And when you find a society where the mainstream media has been successfully deconstructed, where we don't, or rather we no longer trust the mainstream media, it means that we kind of have to now rely on bloggers for information, or rather on these citizen journalists. When I talk about citizen journalists, I mean just people who want to write blogs and all that, and they post it on the media. So when you rely on them, it means that you might actually exist in an information bubble. So all the other information bounces, and what you only get to consume is what that person is writing. Now that is where the concept of misinformation and disinformation comes in. And at Ustawi KE, we have been able to talk about that. How do you recognize that this is a genuine misinformation and this is a disinformation thing that is going on?
No, it's interesting that you brought up examples of like America, and how they be like, for them it's black and white. There's
gray.
really no gray areas. And I was just wondering, do you think that we can have a society that is democratically advanced without us having this undercurrents of radical thought, radical political thought? Because it's, in a way, societies that have grown into themselves and they can hold themselves to that regard, it means there's like a lot of freedom of thought and expression that has been built up. Then that's why we do not know how to catch radicalization. Like, at what point do we strike a balance? I'm just wondering, because I also think about the dangers of anti-intellectualism is like on the rise. And especially now with like artificial intelligence, that means that we will really have artificial intellectualism, and whatever that looks like is grim. So what are your thoughts about that?
From where I see it, again with Ustawi, what we do with Ustawi, and also what we are currently doing at Manifesto U2, I think we all owe it to each other and to ourselves and to this nation to promote Article 10 of our Constitution, which basically talks about our values as a nation. We have talked about constitutionalism, democracy, upholding of human rights, sustainable development, patriotism, and this can only be coded, or I think we can simply code it even in how we interact with each other, day-to-day interactions. It should not be possible for us to watch, maybe, for instance, as a human being is being lynched by a mob. For instance, I'm sorry I went there, but I think that's one of the most stark examples of what constitutionalism, human rights, and just being orderly human beings would look like in a society that wants to deal with this, some of these undercurrents. That would be a good place to start, number one. Number two, you are on the road, you're seeing a motorist being harassed by a traffic officer. Intervene. You're seeing a child being lured by, malevolent actors. Intervene. You're seeing women being attacked. You're seeing femicide on the rise. Where is your voice? You have a government that, is increasingly tyrannical by the day, increasingly hardlining by the day. Intervene. And these interventions are not just at an individual private citizen level, although that is the most fundamental place to start. I think even as organizations, you guys, Power Radios, CC, Manifesto U2, what Ustawi is doing, and many other organizations, and political parties, because at the end of the day, political parties are the custodians of democracy. They are the custodians of democratic expression and the pursuit of power through democratic expression. We owe it to each other and to ourselves and to this nation again to ensure that through all these means and through all these platforms that we have, we're able to promote Article 10 of the Constitution. It is very important that, I don't know if CBC has a subject on ethics, but I think while we might not want to teach children politics, Kenya is an extremely political country, by the way.
I mean,
and even our kids understand
sure.
the concept of politics.
I mean, the kids are saying one term.
Imagine.
Do you know? It's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't want to indoctrinate a child to be too political from a young age, but the concept of critical thought and ethics is something that should be taught from the most basic level. I think maybe entry level for primary school, grade 1 or class 1, whatever it's called these days. Those are the kind of things we need to be instilling from a young age, to the point where by the time watufikie malituko, we know for a fact this nation has a future, this nation has posterity and prosperity when it comes to politics, when it comes to governance, when it comes to constitutionalism and democracy.
We need to also deal with capitation, but ownership of voice and narrative, right? We cannot have it any other way. Political radicalization means that in one way or the other, you believe that this is the truth, you stand on it, you die on that hill. But there has to be a rehabilitation of the narrative. So how do we ensure that we are rehabilitating dangerous, extreme narratives? How do we come up with counter narratives, right? Especially when young people who are actively politically engaged and involved, but wrongly actively politically engaged, because you can be actively engaged but wrongly. And that also gives us a second layer of a head scratch, because ownership of voice is something to be said. So how do we think about this?
First, when you talk about radicalization, most of the time what comes into our mind is violence. But radicalization is not all that bad. Sometimes there's a non-violent kind of radicalization. That is where the part where somebody just has this idea, but does not violently act upon it. And then we have the kind of radicalization where now somebody is taught how to get this, but through a violent means, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think that is what we need to rehabilitate, and for our young people to be able to know what is wrong. And I know that we are all human beings. We all have the ability to design. We all have this criterion that we use to say, is this morally good or is this morally bad,
Yes, yeah.
So I feel that we need, apart from instilling the spirit of patriotism, we also need to instill the spirit of humanism. How do you not fight your brother? How do you not fight your sister? How do you work for the good of the nation, for the natural good of the nation?
Yeah.
But apart from that, radicalization usually happens in spaces where there's just a lot of social issues. When young people cannot get jobs, when young people cannot put food on the table, when there are a lot of injustices, that is the perfect recipe for radicalization to happen and eventually extremism.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about extremism, and I know that most of the time when you talk about extremism, you start remembering all these people that have bombed buildings and all that.
Al-Shabaab.
Yes. But there's also a kind of extremism where they have now been so much hardlined that they do not want to participate even in the political democratic processes. When we started this conversation, we said that we needed to provide a platform for dialogue, because it was getting to a point where nobody wants to go to the table. Everybody just wants something done, but nobody wants to go and talk. So part of the rehabilitation is providing platforms, whether it is on the media, digital spaces, or whether it is even in schools, in social halls, just a platform for dialogue. And let me tell you, conversations can heal the world. It can change the world.
Yes, true.
Yes, people may not have food, but if you go there and you talk really and try to understand, then I'm pretty much sure that can be solved. Now, the other way of rehabilitation also is making sure that all these maybe agencies that are responsible for information, if something is out there and perhaps it is untrue, then they need to flag that. At least for X, I see that nowadays we have community notes. For other spaces, I do not particularly know, because I'm a predominant user of X. And by there, something fascinating.
Yes.
When you start KE, and IPYF did that research on youth perspective on radicalization.
Yeah.
We found that XPace and TikTok was one of those hotspots.
For political conversations.
Yes, for political conversation and also for political radicalization at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. So as an individual, you also need to take responsibility. When there's an information out there, apart from critical thinking, you need to go and do further research on that information. If right now I say that the government is planning to defund universities, somebody may believe that, but then I need you as a person to be able to go and do your research. Is this really true? And if it is not true, what was the intent of this person? At the end of the day, I know that we may belong to a certain political divide, but we need to remember that the future of this country, or rather the state of this country, is much more important than what you as an individual thinks.
Yeah.
And also just to build up on that, siasa eka kwa lungs, you know?
Tusieke kwa roho.
Msieke kwa roho sana. Ukiweka kwa roho sasa unaleta hiyo mambo ya us versus them. And you forget that there is a tomorrow.
Yeah.
You forget that this is your brother, this is your sister. You forget that it's about, it's about a particular side taking power and leading. It's not about you being left out, you being killed, you being disenfranchised.
Sure.
We are all Kenyans. We are all going to be served equally.
Yeah.
And just to build up again to what Valerie was saying regarding institutions, I'm very happy that in the past month or so, the Ministry of Interior has come up with a cyber security agency. It's a good place to start. I know I'm also quite apprehensive. But remember in 2023, I think it was in 2023 August, where we had a very serious cyber attack. I don't know if you guys remember that on our government installations. And it was said it was a country that did not like what our president was doing with the militia from their country.
Yes.
I will not get into that. But
lawsuits.
Yes.
You're a lawyer. You know this.
No, I don't even care about lawsuits. It's a security issue.
Okay.
They can come if they want.
Oh, yeah. Way.
Have
you been radicalized? This one has been radicalized.
Are you?
Yeah. Are you radicalized? Oh my God.
But seeing that level of attack on government installations should have you nervous as a citizen of this country.
Yeah.
So first of all, with this cyber agency, protection of our spaces, which is very, very important for foreign actors who might want to come in and try to create narratives, which is one of the other things we were looking into when we were doing that particular research. And we forgot to mention that we have done something on Russia's.
Tell.
Let me finish this first.
Okay, great.
So there's of course the issue of protection of our installation, but also protection of regulation of information within the country, and not necessarily the control of speech. They don't exist to control speech. They exist to ensure that
There's
as a country,
safeguards.
there are certain safeguards. And what I am excited to see, I don't know if that is something they'll be doing, is also forcing social media companies to have Kenyan administrators, because that will greatly and significantly help to deal with the issues of technology-based, gender-based violence, number one.
Yeah.
The issues of pedophilia, because there's a lot of that flying around on TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah.
Sijui ni nini naonga mbaya na watu Facebook.
Yeah. There's a deeper conversation that then needs to be had about accountability.
Exactly.
Then.
And that is where maybe the cyber security agency comes in. And also now the issue of political radicalization, the issues of political extremism, and where Kenya falls. How then do we deal with the undercurrents you're talking about? Because a lot of this is done on the echo chambers, the internet and social media in Kenya.
Yeah.
So now, moving from that, Valerie had talked about misinformation, disinformation. And I will add that in part, that is how a lot of our young men were lured into Russia's front line in the aggression against Ukraine, unjust aggression against Ukraine.
Yeah.
We have had a chance to have a dialogue, and this is a conversation we will keep having on the issue of human trafficking. I would say the victimization of Kenyan men. I don't think our government sees it that way because we are a patriarchal society.
Obviously.
And then, of course, the national security issue that is returnees, young men with skills who are coming to an environment that is not engaging them properly. What are they doing with those skills that, they were probably trained? Some of them saying, for the most part, they were not trained, but there are some who are trained. So our watu wanarudi, they are returnees. They are not rehabilitated. KDF does not want to touch them. Who is dealing with them? Who is rehabilitating them? Speaking of rehabilitation again.
Yeah, families.
Shakahola.
Oh my goodness.
You have Shakahola and Kwabinzaro. I think this is also a conversation you want to bring the National Counter-Terror Center into, the NCTC. Because I think they're the ones with the mandate
or
to do...
religious institutions.
Yes, together with religious institutions to do the necessary rehabilitation, give the necessary psychosocial support through Ngao and now the religious bodies on Kenyans who have endured radicalization in other spaces beyond politics. Because they are coming back to mainstream societies.
Yes.
And
to wives and children.
To wives, to children,
mothers,
to husbands.
to fathers.
I saw a very unfortunate incident about a month ago of a young lady who was radicalized by a cult and decided to kill her mother and then kill herself. Do you guys see that story? And she was a young woman, I think a Gen Z or a millennial. Yes. Hawa ni watu wanarudi kwa society yenye pia sisi tuko. They have not been properly
de-traumatized, because there's also a lot of PTSD.
There's a word for it, I can't remember, but de-something. And there are ticking time bomb. And bad political climate worsens those kinds of things. One of the reasons why Shakahola was able to be as bad as it was lockdown. Without the necessary psychosocial support, and then people have been completely cut off from the economic systems.
No integration whatsoever.
Isolation as well.
And we are social animals.
Exactly. Human beings are social animals. Uko kwa nyumba peke yako. You are watching these evangelists tell you, if you don't fast, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Join us in our commune in Shakahola. Those kinds of things. So there's a lot to talk about in that space. And I just wanted to say initially that the cybersecurity agency was a good idea, and it is my hope that we will get more Kenyan I can see you're very apprehensive. We can get more Kenyan administrators for social media. That is one of the best ways to be able to monitor and deal with the undercurrents of radicalization on online platforms.
Oh my goodness. But there's something that Darius Okola wrote when he was doing an expose on Goonism, and he said that one of the back ends of why some certain amorphous industries like the one for goons work is because it's based on the currency of disposability of these young men. And I think that's also something that we are seeing mostly. You just look at like how it's set up, and any minute they can be trashed away because there is an end goal that you have talked about, like this radicalization. They don't really care about you. You're just there you're a means to an end. And once that end is achieved, then whatever you do with yourself, we really do not care. And then something else that I was thinking about is, tomorrow marks 16 years since the promulgation of the Kenyan Constitution. Wow. It's been 16 years. And I do not know that I'm happy for you that you are happy. That look on her face. The look on her
is amazing.
It's Sweet 16. But I can't say it's Sweet 16 in Kenya because there's the gaps of constitutionalism. So when let's drop in the Katiba at 16 with, for example, what you were saying that with Manifesto Yetu, you're going through various regions trying to ratify the workbook into a living document, and I've thought about the other living document that is seemingly dead in Kenya, and that's, you can tell us, you are the wakili here. You're not really excited about the fact that I am coming for the constitution. So how do you see the interplay between Katiba at 16 vis-a-vis this world of radicalization? And we talk about institutional strengthening, for example, to fight this radicalization, and enshredded within the Kenyan constitution. Have we done anything towards that effect? We also have constitutionalism. I mean, we're talking about the judiciary being completely flustered by the executive, and that is a conversation on its own end. So when you think about Katiba at 16 years of whatever 16 years have looked like in Kenya, how do we plug in the conversation about political radicalization, and is constitutionalism going to be a way out from this conversation?
Kenya as a republic has gone through a lot since 1963. And remember, we had an imperial presidency before the new constitution. tulikuwa na mambo mingi sana. We didn't have the concept of decentralization of power, which in a lot of ways helps in the expression of self-determination when it comes to politics and each and every Kenyan, which we now call ugatuzi.
Yes.
Initially nilikuwa nasikia kitu majimboism when they were agitating back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, from where I sit, I think we have made quantum leaps in terms of democracy. For a long time, the judiciary was the vanguard of democracy in this country. I cannot say that is still the case. Like you've mentioned, the judiciary has been completely flustered or compromised. I like using that word, compromised by the executive and overrun again by the executive. You also have a parliament that is illegitimate. My opinion is tangu 2024, the incident, the 25th June fiasco, our parliament went completely to the dogs.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we have made quantum leaps since 2013. I think that is when we initially, transitioned. No, not initially, but formally transitioned from the old constitution to the new constitution. We have so many new laws that came into place, But also, remember that was also the time when one of the worst attacks, or some of the series of the worst attacks, terrorist attacks in this country began.
Yes.
And initially the government started with what I think they were calling the kinetic operations.
Yeah.
Basically going after terrorists, the financiers and all that, through brutal force. But with time, I think after 2015, they realized that cannot work. It's not sustainable. So with that is how they came up with the Prevention of Terrorism Act, and then of course with the National Counter-Terror, which in my opinion has done so much together with Ngao. I am one of those people who are staunch believers in the institution that is the National Government Administrative Office or officers, imambo ya chief all the way to the county commissioner, regional commissioners. I know a lot of Kenyans don't like it, but the kind of work
that they do
is not work you can leave to at an MCA or the governor.
Na wanalipwa 3K stipend.
Manze.
Na smartphone. Waliitwa State House juzi wakapromisiwa hivyo. But a conversation for another day. Mpaka nikajiuliza ama nikuwe headman.
Manze, ingia nyumba 10. Si niliona nyumba 10 wanapewa kitu.
Si wanapewa kitu pia.
Na wanaongezewa sha.
Guy, urafu unaongezewa sha.
No, but anyway, the kind of work that our brothers and sisters in the Ngao system have been doing in terms of social welfare and security is so significant. I would hate to see them withdrawn. And I always thank them for their service. Wherever you are, thank you so much for your service.
Yeah.
That, together with what NCTC has been doing, together with what, of course, the National Police Service has managed to do, we cannot also write off what the Kenya Defence Forces have done with, it's called Linda what? The operation? Linda Nchi.
Yeah.
Is it still operational?
Well, do we know?
Anyway, our incursion to Somalia in a way kind of helped to try and come up with ways and means of addressing some of these issues. I believe strongly that we have done quite well as far as our Katiba is concerned. But of course, there is a lot of room for concern in terms of an executive that has gone above and beyond to become an apex predator.
Yeah.
Inakula kila kitu. Na kila mtu.
Yeah.
That is where our problem is. It's the weak link to democracy. It's the weak link to upholding of our constitution. And remember, I think it's the preamble of our constitution that mandates all of us. This instrument we have given to ourselves. We are to protect. We are to respect. We are to preserve. We are to defend. That is the... Man, I'm looking for the right word for it.
Mandate. The core mandate.
That is the primary, the fundamental instrument of identity and republicanism in this country. And in the same spirit, I would say that young people in this country who came together and decided to give to themselves an instrument called Manifesto Yetu are in somewhat way doing the same thing and trying to reflect what our constitution mandates in terms of Chapter 7 of our constitution, in terms of Chapter 4 of our constitution, and of course, again, Article 10, which provides us with values of who we are as a country.
Yeah. Are you celebrating 16 years of Katiba? Do you think we have a right to be celebrating? Living, in the very juxtapository, as Wakili here would say, realities.
I've always loved Wakili and the fact that she believes in strong institutions.
Mhm.
And
She's a strong institution herself.
Yes, she's
Amen.
an institutionalist.
Amen.
She believes in structure.
Yeah.
But at the
Yes.
same time, a quality structure.
Yeah.
So she has talked about the constitution and the intents of the constitution. And I know that we do have our own beliefs of whether the constitution has worked for certain people or not.
Yeah.
But certainly for me, I believe that it has. And the fact that right now, you can hold the government accountable in the case that you feel that some of your rights have been infringed. You
Yeah.
can take them to court.
Yeah.
And that is actually a good thing. Having a judicial society is a good thing. But at the same time, having one that is intentional, what exactly do you plan to achieve when you do that?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Katiba, and I remember that last year I was part of the people who celebrated the Katiba Day and all that. And obviously this year also I will be celebrating the Constitution. There's usually the question of, is our Constitution enduring or is our Constitution progressive? I would say that the human values, or rather the values of our people of Kenya is enduring. But the Constitution itself is progressive. We are a young society, we know that. And every day there are emerging new things, emerging trends, which our constitution also is being expanded when it comes to the acts, when it comes to the other international laws that we keep adopting. And I usually tell myself that at the end of the day, this constitution is protecting human life.
Yeah.
Just that the people that we have in the office are doing what is wrong, are doing what is not expected of them, and they keep abusing the constitution. That is why I feel that even in the 2027 elections, one of the things that would be, how do I put it, an agenda would be the rule of law and constitutionalism. Young people right now are agitating for constitutionalism and the rule of law because they have come to believe that if we just follow what is in the constitution, perhaps things would be pretty much more better. If we stopped being corrupt, if we stopped abusing institutions, if we stopped using our police force to hurt people, or rather to unjustly punish the opposition and all that, it means that we're going to live as a society of peace and of justice.
Interesting. So we're finally almost coming to the end of our conversation this morning, and I do not know how we should end up this conversation because there's so much that have come up, and perhaps we'll need to have you guys come again because easy conversations haziwezi isha. I keep saying 1 hour is not enough. So from this point going forward, manifesto yetu, for example, what are some of the things that we should be on the lookout for? Young people should be on the lookout for. And is there an invitation for them to plug into the next phase of what you guys are up to?
Manifesto U2 belongs to Kenyans. This was their document. We are just here to assist, ensure it spreads out as much as possible. From where I sit as the lead of the political working group, we are in talks with political parties and the registrar of political parties to see how our document can be co-opted or adopted as a policy and legislative document within political parties as they retreat now to formulating their own manifestos. That's number one. Number two, we are looking to collaborate with the IEBC, the security sector, and any other government agency willing to work with us to see where we can plug into each other's synergies and ensure that as we head into the campaign mode and the election mode, we are able to counter goonism, to counter anything that looks like youth abuse in politics, and promote the running of young people for public office in this country. That is predominantly what we're doing, and trying as much as possible to support them from an intellectual level, from capacity building and all that. Thirdly, as we head into campaign mode, Manifesto U2 is going to be observing all campaigns, all conversations, all deliberations from the grassroots all the way up, and try as much as possible to ensure that young people's positions are taken seriously, and we have young people on each and every table. And I mean on each and every table.
Apart from the kitchen one.
Yes.
Because me, I've done enough cooking for the year. I don't want to be chopping up some onions. I'm done.
We are all done. We are all done. But yes, to see as much as possible that young people are adequately represented by young people and for young people on every particular table in this country.
Love that.
Thank you.
You're still running, right? Speaking of owning tables and things, yeah.
Yes, I'm running.
Oh, right.
I'm running for office.
Office, which is
Senate.
Senate for Bomet County.
Yes.
Kunaendeleaje kule? Ground inasemaje?
Ground iko sawa. Ground inatengenezwa. But importantly at Ustawi KE, we remind our young people that it is all about peace and prosperity. There can be no peace without prosperity, and there can be no prosperity without peace. So mostly, even when you look at our programs, they are engineered or rather tailored to talk about peace in a way. And at Ustawi KE, we also remind our young people that, they are the treasure of the nation. And the reason why we partnered with Manifesto 8 was because we believe that we are very much capable of charting our future.
Yeah.
That we want to be co-creators, we want to be co-architects. And Manifesto 8 as a living document is also a testament that young people of Ustawi KE yearn for a better country.
Yeah.
They yearn for better governance, better leadership. And apart from that, they also want to be part of this leadership. So that when we judge the older generations, we also judge ourselves through the young leaders that we do have.
Yeah.
Ustawi KE just wants to appreciate the kind of support that you, even as the media, has given us. This opportunity that we do have to speak to the young people and to also speak to the older generation to tell them that it is all right for them to share their experience, their wisdom with us.
Yeah.
It is very much all right for intergenerational dialogues to happen.
Yeah.
And we invite them to the Ustawi KE space. We want them to be able to come and engage. We want to be able to use their networks. And just allow me to report some of the things that, some of the challenges that we do face.
Sure.
As young people, when we want to engage the government, most of the time we get to write letters to departments and all that, but they are very much unwilling to come to these digital spaces to engage us, probably because they fear that the young people in those spaces can abuse them.
Yeah.
But that is not it. It is not all right to be abused, but at the same time, it is the fundamental duty of the government to engage with its young people. The reason why we had the 2024 Mandamano was because the young people felt that they were not being heard. And some of the ways that this government would have perhaps done is to, first of all, hear what people are saying, engage with these young people directly. And at Ustawi KE, we're giving them that platform.
Yeah.
So I am urging the government agencies that whenever Ustawi KE writes to you, please
Tafadhali.
come on board.
Please.
Tafadhali. Tunawaomba.
Naam.
Kujani mwongeleshe.
Si nyinyi ni watu wazuri.
Hatuna mubaya.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's it.
I have some couple of comments and questions for you guys. Just allow me to read them. Mary Wanjugu is asking, what political and economic incentives sustain the use of organized violence during electoral periods? What political and economic incentives sustain the use of organized violence during electoral periods? Maybe that you were able to capture in your research.
Okay. One of the inspirations, I'd say political inspirations for young people to engage in goonism and violence is the us versus them concept.
Yeah.
Take, for instance, Homa Bay, what
Yes.
happened 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
The young people who are mobilized for that particular incident, unfortunate incident, are young people from that region, number one. But also these are young people who have been poisoned. They're being told, it's like you guys are being invaded, nini. Chukua hii 500 na hii panga and usambaratishe. Yeah, so that's the kind of language that is used. And for the economics, of course, again, we've said a lot of people are extremely desperate.
Yeah.
Our economy seems to be dipping every day, So less money in circulation, less money in the pockets of young people.
Yeah.
When you have less money in circulation, it's the most financially unstable people who suffer the most. So those ones are also the easiest to exploit.
Yeah. That somebody else here is asking, how sophisticated are political and extremist actors becoming in using micro-targeting, influencers, anonymous accounts, and coordinated online narratives?
You want to answer that?
These people during the training actually, and I would love to appreciate the NCTC because they took us through that, and appreciation to the CJPD, by the way, shout out to them because they were able to partner and sponsor us through this training and all that. Now, when it comes to how sophisticated these people are, I want you to understand that it is more about the persona. It is not even about the other tools that they can use. These personas, they do have a kind of charismatic attributes. when they talk to you, it doesn't matter whether it's on phone or on person.
Yeah.
You'd probably get
They'll draw
enticed.
you in.
And apart from that, these people have been able to get a kind of following. And this kind of following now is the kind that recruits the other people. So at the end of the day, you may not be able to meet the person at the top,
Yeah.
but you'll be able to meet the followers there down.
Mm.
But at the same time, it is also because of advancement of technology. Technology has made this possible through the medias. And also the fact that we as young people, we love to share our lives on the media. Somebody will say that this thing is happening to this person. I think this person needs this. And so if I am a follower of that person and I want to recruit you, I just look at your life and I tell you, this is what is missing. And I believe that you can get this by following person X. And here's the other thing. When we're talking about rehabilitation, and I loved the question of rehabilitation, we need to resensitize our young people. It doesn't matter whether somebody is opposing you or opposing a political ideology that you stand for. But when you see somebody harming another person, if you celebrate them, that is when you know that you're kind of radicalized. It doesn't matter what political divide you're in. So even when you these sophisticated people that recruit people, when they see that you have certain elements in you that maybe make you feel insensitive towards certain kind of violent acts, you are the perfect person to pick,
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I hate to close this conversation here, but we have to. We're running out of time. But a special shout out to Gish Vlogs. Thank you so much for taking the time to join na tutumia mafire emojis kama zote pale. Then Neil Armstrong 7860 anasema well said wakili. I think this was in response to you. Thank you so much for everybody, and also to Mary Wanjugu for asking those questions as well. And unfortunately we've run out of time, but they have promised that they will be back again and again and again, because conversations to do with youth advancement, we can never really deplete those.
That is true.
Until the last one is free. So how can people get in touch with Manifesto Yetu and Ustawi Kenya?
For Manifesto Yetu, we are at Manifesto Yetu on every platform. Our logo is basically the Kenyan map with the Kenyan flag and, of course, young people silhouettes. Mtatuona tu virahisi. We can share our logo with you if you'd like, for ease of people to be able to follow. But basically, we are just Manifesto Yetu on every platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you say that, Neil Armstrong akona swali imekuja tu sasa hivi. Elucidate more on how there's less money in circulation. Does it apply to the working class or to the juakali individuals, given the fact that if you transverse the country, kila mahali ni reflected, something like that. Yeah.
Reflected.
Yeah.
Do you mean reflector like border riders?
May perhaps could be. Yeah.
Anyway, in my opinion, basically, with the economic shocks that we have been experiencing, and of course, apparently we have a sovereign debt that has to be paid, and you have all these levies and spiking in taxes by the executive. You have less and less money in circulation. It doesn't help that there's a war between Russia and Ukraine, and another one between the US and Iran. Sasa hiyo, of course, imepandisha bei ya mafuta Kenya.
Yeah.
That means less money in the pockets, because production costs of everything goes up. Transport levies and fares go up. And with that, of course, kila mtu ana feel the shock, but it's just a lot worse for people who do not have stable incomes.
Okay.
If you do not have a reliable income, it becomes a lot worse or riskier for you.
Yeah.
And that is especially for young people, because a lot of you are either in school, entering the job market, or in small businesses, small startups. So those are the ones who experience the most economic shocks.
Just to put it into context also, on militarization of the young people. Nobody is willing to spend hard-earned money to recruit young people into gun or gangs. So when we also talk about sabotage in terms of corruption, you'd find that the people who are able to facilitate or rather fund these people, as much as they may have much money in their pockets, it is money that has been gotten illegally, ill-gotten money. And so they get to spend this money on the young people.
Okay. Well, I hope, Neil, umepata jawabu lako. But yes, for real. Though, Ustawi, where do people get in touch with Ustawi?
Well, we are at Ustawi KE on all social media platforms, and we're very active on X. We usually hold spaces, actually, and I'm inviting them to our spaces, whether they want to participate as listeners or participants. Our logo are 2 leaves intertwined.
Hey, it's important.
Very important.
You know, be deep fix out here. Deep fix out here. Yeah.
But
awesome.
yes, and Ustawi KE also holds a lot of other public trainings, so on civic and political education. But we also put out posters for that. So if a young person is very much interested, they can always apply to come to our sessions.
Okay, fantastic. Gachui, Valerie, what a time. Thank you for the privilege of your time and for the amazing work that you guys are doing. Tupatane tena in these spaces. Najua tutapatana tu.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Was very, very important for us.
Of course. Asanteni sana. And to everybody that was able to tune in and ask the questions, we see you, we feel the love. It's really, really always encouraging that you could join us this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure. I am going to love you and leave you in the very capable and safe hands of the one and only Kimberly Sandra. She comes in at 11 a.m. with Shiva Session, so please do join her then. And then later on, our dynamic duo, our boys, DJ CJ Kenya alongside Elijah Mose come in with Gift of Gap. You want to find out what is happening in the Kenyan hip-hop scene, you know where to get them. They will be in from 4 p.m. all the way till 6 in the p.m. Haya basi, mimi sina la ziada. I have to love you and leave you. Enjoy myself the sun because we have waited. We have waited.
Yes.
I'm so happy about the sun being out. All right, we out. Bye.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Hapa tunacheza na maneno. Nandika ivaskan kuna njaa, nenda kupika bila makaa, na waita na mnakata, mnasema kanisa na mavijana, kushiba ni baada ya sala, kuiva na uskuizi ni bala, utagezwa kima na makusaga, pika hive tunamanga, skuma chumvi na kauganga, chuma ngumi teke kada, boksa vumbi na makamba, toka nyuki asali changa, koma 10 utashanga, ama stima zitazima, twende kwa kina Farida, cheke ina kwa mafinga. Hapa tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia kenge. Hapa tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia kenge. Nataka ukepoa kakina, Fatia, Halima na Iva, watoto wazuri, ndoto nzuri uisha, kome zote kabisa, ukasanya moto kapatia, bati mbaya ukashikwa, mabati waya ukapigwa, mashati za wanga zikeshia, chukua zengine waze kupima, vua pengine ni yapita, beste yangu mtoshida, himete ni yangu etuliza, unadua kifisi na ujalikuwa, unapokea dishi na ijapikwa, chakula ni mbichi na ijaiva, tuma siste silima njiva, lakini chunga vlatajiva. Hapa tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia kenge. Hapa tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia kenge. Mamini chuja na dida, majistring shuka na mambuyu kwao ni kushanga, dudu zao zinamka, njugu kibao wanatafuna, mamadha huku wanashtuka, anya huyu utajuta, kama sumu inaua, maziwa iko tutakunywa, kama njumu zinatupa, kabisa tutakata kuvua,
matope kila mali panguza, pole pole ngazi tunashuka, pole kakazi yasumbua, mwisho ganzi itengia, vitisho ngapi watasikia, genge damu California au sio? Hapo tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia genge, hapo tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia genge, hapo tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia genge, hapo tunacheza na maneno, ngelinia genge.
Beats ya Climo
Genge.
Beats ya Climo